Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of our NASCAR chat here. We're going to be looking back at the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, along with the NASCAR Cup Series, and a quick mention on the IndyCar Series as well. So, kind of weird to have NASCAR and IndyCar on the same track on the same weekend, but it happens, once in a while. They work it out, and it's a really neat little event to watch both styles of cars, the open wheel Indy cars, which are faster than the NASCARs, the stock cars, but their little high pitched sound of their engine versus the big rumbly V8 of NASCAR is just totally different. But they have to do it on more of the flat style tracks. The Indy cars can't handle, not that they can't handle it, but going on the high banking on some of the tracks puts so much G forces on the driver in the Indy cars. It has been almost to the verge of where there's a fear of it would make them black out because the G forces would be so high. So, safety reasons for that, of course, but it's always a good weekend when those two team up. This is actually the second weekend in a row. However, last weekend they weren't with the Cup Series; they were with the Truck Series, and a little different, idea. And that was out in St. Petersburg on a street course in Florida versus this is on an actual track, Phoenix. So the winner of that race, just to throw this one out there real quick, was Joseph Newgarden. A little bit more on him and who he drives for here coming up in a few minutes, just because it made a really interesting storyline for the weekend out in Phoenix. If you remember me talking about, the team that dominates a lot at that track from the preview episode. So we'll jump into the O'Reilly series real quick. Another one of the guys I mentioned to watch, Justin Allgaier. He was, the winner of it. I mean, and I kind of figured he would be. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here real quick, and we'll look at the standings of the race. This is the finishing order of the race. So, I mean, Justin Allgaier, look, he led 11 laps, and he won. It's not how many laps you lead. As long as you lead the last one, it's the only one that matters. Jesse Love, another name I mentioned, Carson Kvapil, who I really, really enjoy watching. Sheldon Creed from Haas Factory Team. I mean, the names I mentioned in the preview are the names you're seeing up here at the top. The one that's missing is Austin Hill. I thought he would run better, but, it's just not his day. I mean, it happens. That's what's crazy about this sport. You can be the best car, the best driver, whatever you want, and it just doesn't work out for you. I mean, look, William Byron's a Cup Series veteran, and then he's down here in 13th. I'm trying to see. I think there was another Cup Series guy driving in this race, too. Could be wrong on that. Yeah, it looks like nobody else was. So, you got your Allgaier, Love, Kvapil, points they earned based on winning the race and stage points earned. Go look at the standings of the season for the O'Reilly Series. Skip that, jump over here. And you'll see Justin Allgaier with that win has jumped Jesse Love. Actually, I don't know why it went back to that. Hold on a second, folks. Let me jump over here. There we go. Now you can see that Justin Allgaier has jumped Jesse Love, who was, him and Austin Hill were 1-2 going into this weekend. Austin Hill was 1, Jesse Love was 2, I believe. Yeah, he was. He went down 2 spots. But Justin Allgaier jumped them both, so he took away the lead from the teammates. These two are teammates, Jesse Love and Austin Hill. Carson Kvapil, that was a good little run from him, moved him up a spot. Sheldon Creed went down. No, really, I mean, the biggest mover, I think, was Jeb Burton, who went up 6 spots, which is pretty impressive. Anthony Alfredo went up 5. He also drove in the Cup Series. He filled in for Alex Bowman in the 48 while he was recovering from his vertigo. I take that back. We got some bigger movers. Brent Cruz and Jeremy Clements, 8 and 7 spots respectively from where they started, or from where their points were previous to this. Let's see, who was our biggest faller in points? We got a -4 with Yaley and Preston Pardus. See, we got a -6 with LeVar Scott. It's probably going to be the biggest dropper. Yeah, LeVar Scott was going to be your biggest. So, as you can see, I've mentioned this is a series dominated by Chevrolet. I mean, there's like 2 or 3 Fords and like 7 or 8 Toyotas, and the rest are Chevys. So, if you can bet on a manufacturer to win one of these races, bet Chevrolet. Your odds are super high. Payout's probably not real good, but your odds are super high. So, then if you look at what's crazy about the stage points and how much it is to win a race now, Justin Allgaier sits first place with 184 points. He's only led 13 laps all year. So, little crazy. So that's kind of what went on with that. Now, before that race, you had the IndyCar race, which, as I mentioned, was won by Joseph Newgarden. Right there, you can see he had a 1.7 second lead on second place. And then you look at these gaps. Pato O'Ward, I think Alex Palou crashed. Yeah, he crashed out. He didn't finish in this race. He dominated this series. Great names. Stingray Robb. I mean, that dude needs to be driving a NASCAR, I think. Stingray. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. But Joseph Newgarden won the race. Like I said, I'm not a big IndyCar guy, but every now and then when they race with NASCAR, I think it's kind of fun to watch. We'll go over here and look at the results from Phoenix. Now, you see Ryan Blaney won. And I want everybody to just watch his face and see if that mustache moves. I'm thinking it's going to grow legs at any moment and start crawling around. But he won the race. And he drives for Team Penske, where Joseph Newgarden also drives for. So Penske pretty much swept the 2 big series. Obviously, they didn't win the O'Reilly series because they don't have a car in it, but they won the Indy race and the Cup Series race. So they swept the weekend. And as I mentioned, this is Penske's playground. Phoenix has become, they are so good at this track. They don't always win. They don't always finish top 5s with all their cars, but man, they just got something figured out at this track. So Blaney won. Again, he only led 28 laps. Look at Christopher Bell, 176 laps led and came in second. But if you go up here and look at the difference, you remember it was 1.7 in the Indy cars. We were 0.4 of a second gap in this series. This is the difference in all 3, the Formula One, even the O'Reilly series, IndyCar. They have gaps of a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Some F1 races have been 17 seconds. You will never see that in a NASCAR race. You might see 1 to 2 seconds, which is going to be extremely rare for that to ever happen. Most of the time, it's within 1 second. 9 9/100, 9/10 of a second. But most of the time, it's going to be 4 to 5 tenths, somewhere in that range. And you'll get the occasional race where you get 3 cars that are separated by 8/100 or 8/1000ths of a second, or 800ths. I'd have to go back and look, but still 3 cars, even 800ths of a second it's just insane. The closest finished ever, Kansas Speedway. Kyle Larson beat Chris Buescher by 1/1000th of a second. So you're not going to see that in any other version of motorsports that's open wheel type. So, but you got Blaney, Bell second, Kyle Larson third. You look at just the list. You got 1 Ford, and then you got just a ton of Toyota. Toyota does so well at this track too, but just Penske has something. One of the Penske cars always has something for these Toyotas, but they dominate the top 10. Great run by Shane Van Gisbergen and Eric Jones, to be honest. Even Michael McDowell. These are great runs for all. I'm going to keep going for Todd Gilliland. That's a great run for Ryan Preece. Those are great runs by those guys. Kyle Busch, not really a great day. Chase Elliott finished 23rd. He's the most popular driver. Ross Chastain, 28th. Logano. Now Logano got involved in a crash late, so that's why he's out of the race. Josh Berry was involved in the same crash. So those two took each other out. They didn't wreck each other. They were wrecked. Logano got spun, and then Berry just happened to be there, which seems to be Josh Berry's mantra. I think that the Wood brothers need to do something with a metal detector with this car and try to hunt for magnets, because it seems to attract every other car on the road, or it's drawn to a wreck. It's I don't know. It's weird. Austin Cindric, he had a really strong day, leading laps and stuff at the early part. Chase Briscoe, this guy, he was in the championship 4 last year. He just can't catch a break. Dude is just snake bit right now. But again, we're 4 races into the season, so it's nothing's set in stone. Nothing's done. It's all still out in front of them. We're going to look at the standings. And as you can imagine, if you've been following me on these previews and reviews, Tyler Reddick, of course, he won the first 3 races. And Ryan Blaney just jumped up in front of Bubba Wallace to separate that pair of teammates. So, again, look at your laps led in the season. 112, 194, 108. I mean, these guys, I even think Josh Berry's, he's got like 13, but look where he's at. So it's not always about how many laps you lead. Obviously, leading laps means you're up front, so that's where you want to be, but it doesn't always guarantee a win. To win 3 races and only have led 112 laps, that just tells you that he's just in the mix and something opens up and it goes his way. So, kudos to Tyler Reddick, Michael Jordan, that team over there with Denny Hamlin as the co-owner, but even Bubba Wallace as his teammate. To see him sitting in 3rd is pretty impressive. But to win the first 3 races of the season, something that had never been done before, he was in the mix. I think he finished 8th in Phoenix. Let me go back and look where he finished. He was running 8th a lot of the time. Yeah, he finished 8th. That's still really impressive for winning 3 races in a row. And, you've got 4 top 10s out of 4 races. So pretty good. We can also look at the owner standings, which is going to be 23-11. The owner standings are pretty much points for each car. So obviously they're going to pretty much mimic the standings that you see on the other page. And then NASCAR actually does a manufacturer, which of course Toyota has won 3 out of the first 4. So they're going to be leading the Manufacturers Cup. Ford is second because they got the other win, and Chevy's still scratching for a first win. Chevy is going to be fine, but they do have a new body on the car this year, so it does take a little longer to get used to the aerodynamics and how much downforce you need and all the good little technical stuff that goes into these cars. I have no doubt that they'll get it figured out. Even though they've kind of struggled a little bit, you've still got Chase Elliott sitting 4th. So our biggest droppers of the week, we'll look at those first. You got Chase. He went down 1 position. Let's see, who's our biggest dropper? Allmendinger went down 5. Carson Hocevar 4. Daniel Suarez dropped 10 positions. That's more than likely going to be the biggest dropper. He was involved in an incident, so that's going to happen when you're early in the season too, and there's not a lot of separation. Cole Custer dropped 6. Hey, Josh Berry only lost 3 positions. That just tells you he wasn't in a really good place going in. Biggest movers, let's see who we got here. So far, we got Eric Jones that checks out number 7. Or 7 positions up. Let's see. Well, Denny Hamlin, yeah, he had a rough start to the season, so a good finish like he had here in Phoenix is going to skyrocket him up. Let's see. That should be the highest mover. Oh, no, Christopher Bell went up 18. Of course, Christopher Bell was like in 32nd position or something. I mean, or 20. What would that be? He went 18 positions up, so he was in 24th. But coming in second place, getting stage points, that's where all that comes from. So that's definitely the biggest mover. If we started the playoffs or the chase, I'm going to call it the playoffs, and it's wrong. It's the chase. Your top 16 would make it. So obviously Reddick, Blaney, Bubba Wallace, Chase Elliott, Shane Van Gisbergen, Christopher Bell, Joey Logano, Michael McDowell, Chris Buescher, Kyle Larson, William Byron, Denny Hamlin, AJ Allmendinger, Carson Hocevar, Ty Gibbs, and Brad Keselowski would round out the field. But if you look, he's got 100 points. He's only 2 points ahead of 17. So even somebody down here, let's go look at Barry. Barry's got only 50. He's only 50 points out of a playoff spot, and a win is worth 55 points in the Cup Series this year. So he wouldn't obviously pass him because Brad would get points too. But if he got 55 for the win and then a couple of maybe like 10 points in both stages, 5 in one and 5 in the other, you're looking at 65 points. So then if Brad finishes last, I mean, this is going to change so drastically with only 4 races completed out of a 26 race regular season. So definitely going to be keeping an eye on that cut line though. Every week we'll give you the rundown of the top 16 on every race review show. But again, congratulations to Ryan Blaney and Team Penske for the just pure domination out there. Poor Blaney. To watch him do what he did on Sunday was really, really impressive. They went into the pit. They had a loose tire. They had to come back in, tighten it up. He had to start at the back of the field. Got that fixed, went back out, drove all the way back up into the top 10, came to another pit, left, had another loose wheel, had to pull into Joey Logano's pit box to tighten it, actually, his teammate. But that's a penalty. So he had to go to the back of the field again, and then just methodically just works his way all the way to the front. Comes down to the end of the race, and there's a late race caution. People come in for tires and pits and stuff, and he takes 2 tires. Christopher Bell took 4. Pretty much the same scenario played out as it did last year in the championship race, where they came in late. Denny Hamlin took 4 and Kyle Larson took 2, and Kyle Larson held him off and won the championship. Same exact scenario. I think if Christopher Bell takes 2 tires, he probably wins that race. But they took 4, thinking it would be the better option. And Blaney took 2, got the track position. The key to it was Blaney got to the lead very fast and was able to pull away. He wasn't held up in traffic because Christopher Bell was faster on 4 tires. Believe it or not, 4 tires makes a huge difference versus 2 tires. So, it turned into, could Blaney held him off? If that race was probably 5 laps longer, Bell reels him in and passes him. But Blaney had pulled out to about a second lead while Bell was navigating traffic. And then once Bell got through the traffic, he started clicking off about 1/10, 2/10 every lap. But there was only about 4 laps left, so he didn't have enough time to catch him. And actually, Blaney, I think, matched him for the first 2 or 3 laps once he got clear to. And so he only had a few laps, and he was only clicking off maybe 1/10, sometimes maybe 1/10 and a half, sometimes half a tenth. But he closed the gap down from about a second to, like I said, under 4/10 of a second. So he was coming. Blaney just held on and did what he did and takes the win. It was really good to see. Really exciting. Like to see Ryan Blaney win. He's one of the guys. There's a few of them that when they win, they pull up with after they do all their burnouts and stuff, and they look in the stands for a fan and hand them the checkered flag, which is it's pretty cool. Especially when it's like a younger kid, that kid's going to have that memory forever. Probably going to be a NASCAR fan forever because of that one. Somebody, Ryan Blaney, handed him a flag. So it's, off to Las Vegas this week. Las Vegas is a fun track. I know Denny Hamlin likes it a lot because last time they were out in Vegas, he went to the casinos and won a jackpot out there. So I know he likes it. I know Josh Berry likes it because he got his first ever Cup Series win there last year. So like the track, fun track, a 1.5 mile track. So we'll go back. We'll drop from the 750 horsepower down to 670 for this race. So it's going to be it's a fun race. It really is. I enjoy Las Vegas a lot. Wide open track. You can run, multiple different grooves. So a lot to look forward to this week. We'll have our preview coming up for that after qualifying. Whenever qualifying is, I'll do the preview for the other series that are racing, which I think it's just the O'Reilly series. I don't think trucks are back till next weekend. But we'll do our preview for any series that is racing. I'll look it up and we'll break those down later in the week. And then we'll break down the Cup Series after qualifying and do our preview. So it could be Saturday before I get that preview out. But I want to get qualifying underway are done so that when we do our preview, we can walk through our race picks with our fantasy teams to get your free points on the Fan Rewards app. If you're curious as to what all that is, there's a series on my channel. You can go find it under SEC Sean. That's NASCAR for Beginners. It kind of goes through a little bit of everything on NASCAR history, teams, drivers, and you get into the upper episodes. There's 9 episodes of it, but if you get higher up, you'll get more into the Fan Rewards, how to set it up, what you can do, what you get. So, like I said, it's the way I get free tickets, free merchandise, things like that from them. So you can follow us there. You can go find me there, like, subscribe to all the channels you see scrolling at the bottom of the screen down here too, guys. Doesn't cost anything. It's free, but it helps the channel out a lot. The WTP Sports Dudes here. And then we are also on Patreon under WTP Sports Dudes. You can find us there too. We also put these on as a podcast form on Spotify. It's under WTP Sports Dudes 2026. Also, I have a Patreon over there, which is SEC Sean, same as here. And it's also on, I do NASCAR Talks on Spotify podcast also. So these are just different channels that we all talk different stuff. We're all just a bunch of sports guys. I do most of the NASCAR talk, all the NASCAR talk, I think. But we'll probably be breaking down basketball tournaments this week. For the men, we'll be talking some of the NFL crazy free agency. So just tune into all of it. Hit the like, subscribe, share, hit the little notification bell, and you'll know when any of us are going live. And like I said, you can go check us out on Patreon. There's going to be some stuff put on Patreon for memberships for people that are paid members. That's going to be exclusive, some behind the scenes type stuff. So keep that in mind when you like and subscribe. Other than that, y'all have a good evening, and we'll be back tomorrow around 7:45, I think, with the whatever we're going to talk about tomorrow, which I'm pretty sure is going to be a lot of college basketball. So other than that, y'all have a good rest of your evening, and we'll see y'all on the next one.